Ladies and gentlemen, now last week we explored Captain Marvel as a 5-star rank 5 champion in Act 6 Chapter 2 without the use of Suicide Masteries, because it's very rare that I use the Suicide Masteries. However, in the last couple of days we've done some video spotlights on Omega Red and Corvus Glaive, and for those champion spotlights I wanted to switch to Suicides, but also I wanted to test for myself how good Captain Marvel would be using the Suicide Masteries. And like last week, man, the gameplay video was so much fun. She was a 10 out of 10 champion doing so much work, but I feel like the Suicide Masteries, man, they just take her to an absolutely ridiculous level, especially for this Icarus chapter. I went for the Arc Overload tech path here today, and you can see everything just dies so incredibly quickly, and the Omega Red takedown I had with the Suicide Masteries is just, honestly, it's absurd. It is so absurd how much damage the special 2 deals, but also I wanted to take her out into different quests, different chapters as well, and show kind of a variety of gameplay with Captain Marvel with the Suicide Masteries, but especially if you do have the Nick Fury synergy as well, it's very easy to build in the one with Deadpool, which cleanses the poison, so it gives her kind of this regeneration at the start of every single fight as well, which just makes her very sustainable, very reliable, and yeah, you can see here, like in this Icarus chapter, we've taken no damage. However, right at the start of the Darkhawk fight, I did fail because I forgot that the node is unblockable. However, because he deals energy damage in his special 3 phase, that allowed us to immediately enter binary ignition and retaliate quite nicely. So that was a pretty good comeback there. But you know, we can still regen at the start of the next 2 fights as well. So the next fight we have Morningstar. This one isn't as nice of a matchup as some of the previous encounters because we don't have the class advantage. Instead, we have the disadvantage going on here. There's still a pretty nice special too, with like 22 stacks of Fury, takes Morningstar down like 50% in a single one. Then because she's got the block up, we penetrate through it with a special 1 to finish that fight, and there we go, Morningstar is down, straight in the bin there, but I love the unblockable specials. Now, in last week's gameplay video, I made a few mistakes against the Omega Red, and we ended up dying from the degeneration. However, today, it's a little bit of a different story. So this is an almost 400k Omega Red on an Icarus node here, and I honestly, like, couldn't believe the numbers, man. I had to rewind it, kind of watch it back again, to make sure I was, you know, seeing what I was seeing correctly. So have a look at this, man. Pay some very close attention there. I know it's difficult to, because that fight moves so incredibly fast, but yeah, that was insane, man. I think off the special 2 we got like a combined total of somewhere near about 300,000 damage. One of the biggest hits there is about 120,000. So yeah, we go for that blast, we get 54k, 120k, and then there was like a 54k non-crit. So yeah, Captain Marvel is officially the Queen of Icarus, lads. We've decided that one, but honestly, that is some absolutely filthy gameplay. However, I know many people in the comment section are probably going to be like, hey, Seatin, you know, this Icarus stuff, it's not in every single chapter. We want to see some Captain Marvel gameplay with Suicides without the use of the Icarus node. So I thought we'd jump into the final quest of Act 6 Chapter 1. So this quest has a path called Buffed Up, where you can only deal damage to the opponent if you have 3 or more buffs. Now, the first 3 fights that we're dealing with, none of these fights have the Buffed Up node yet, and the first fight with Captain Marvel is always the worst fight. So here we're trying to get 25 stacks of binary ignition, kind of blocking these hits, absorbing them into Captain Marvel so that we can generate 25 stacks, because every blocked hit gives you 1 stack as well, and parries give you 2, the special 1 gives you 3, and also the special 3 gives you 10, but in shorter fights like this, there's not too much use for the special 3, at least in my opinion. So yeah, we're up to 25 stacks there, and we're going in for a bit of a cheeky little 5 combo now, straight onto a special 2 here. As you can see, the damage is still absolutely phenomenal. That was about 80,000 damage, and then a 27k heavy, but also the damage is a little bit split with Captain Marvel, because you've got your kind of impact attacks, and also if the opponent is suffering from an armor break, you deal 30% more damage as energy damage. So yeah, just when you're looking at a damage, it will always be a little bit split, just because that energy damage is being added on top in red text beside it, but that's really, really cool. Now, next up is a matchup against Havok. Havok. And Captain Marvel, you know, she doesn't do the best against Havok, but she will work against Havok here. So I wanted to showcase this fight. So this fight really starts becoming a bit more of a pain once you enter Binary Ignition and you're dealing lots of energy damage, and also you fire off the Special 2, because the Special 2, you know, she's going to fire beams out of her hands, which mean that Havok's going to gain some energy damage. However, you can see with the invulnerability, we can absorb like 1 or 2 of Havok's detonates, which is a really, really nice time there. Then we go in for a Special 2 dodge. At this point, we've got him down about 50%, but because of Havok's crit resistance, like he takes 50% less crit damage, he's a little bit harder to burst down than your average opponent. And you can see here, we're gaining stacks like crazy, so we do take 2 detonation. However, you know, we still got plenty of damage, plenty of time to kill the Havok there, so it wasn't the worst matchup overall. So yeah, if you got a Captain Marvel that's rank 5, you can probably quite easily deal with about 200 to 250k health pool Havok. However, if you got a rank 4, maybe you want to use boost just to be a little bit more safe. And I guess, you know, for a lot of people, this is the final quest of Act 6 Chapter 1, so not many people are going to be progressing in this chapter without the use of like a 10 or 20% boost, and in some cases 30% boost as well to make this stuff even easier. And just as a reminder, today's gameplay isn't using any boost at all, so we just got the Suicide Masteries and the synergies. So if we wanted like 45% more attack from like boosts, we could have access to that. And also, I imagine Captain Marvel, I haven't actually tested this out yet, but synergizes quite well with the Cosmic Power Gain boost, because that's when you deal damage with your special attacks, you gain power back, and a lot of Captain Marvel's burst damage output is via the Special 2. So I imagine that's going to have a pretty nice synergy for kind of topping up her power there. But there we go, we burst Heimdall down with a nice little Special 2, we go for a heavy attack, 5 combo, and then we finish this lad off nicely with a Special 1. So I really like once you've got Captain Marvel ramped up, you got those charges ready, you can do this like nice combo of like Special 2 into Special 1, and then you've got a lot of damage output potential with that, and a lot of reach to deal with like 200,000 health pools. Now, next up, we have the buffed up path. So this is the beginning of the path here, and we've got some interesting opponents to deal with: a Magic, a Symbiote Supreme, a Miles, a MODOK, and also Scarlet Witch. A lot of Mystic champions, and a lot of champions that you think a champion like Captain Marvel might not work so well for. So here we got the buffed up Miles with also a 25% unblockable phase at the end of the fight. So here I'm just looking to trigger Binary Ignition because, again, I can't deal any damage unless I have 3 buffs on Captain Marvel. And I'm taking it a little bit slow because I want to make sure that I can line up a Special 2 with bursting this man down so that I don't need to deal with the unblockable phase. So yeah, we go for another parry heavy here. And because Captain Marvel's heavy attack is so quick, you can parry, medium, and then heavy. So it's fantastic for fighting evade champions that can be stunned. And as you can see there, man, the Miles was really, really easy. That was honestly like an Icarus chapter fight without like the massive attack bonus. So yeah, that worked out really, really well. But I guess Miles, you know, he doesn't have the most health in the world, but that was still about 140,000 hit points there. Absolutely decimated in just 14 hits. Then next up, we do have the Scarlet Witch encounter, and this one is not too bad if we can immediately enter Binary Ignition, and we finish the previous fight with 23 stacks of it, so we can immediately go into Binary Ignition and kind of get our damage off there, which is very, very nice. So as you can see, 0 damage while we don't have 3 buffs, but then Binary Ignition gives us 6 buffs actually, 5 Furies and 1 invulnerability there. We go for a heavy attack just to kind of top up the Fury, and also I want to make a big push here, just go for the Special 2 and also make sure I have enough power for the Special 1 if absolutely needed. So medium, heavy, straight into a cheeky little 5 combo there. Then we parry and also heavy attack just to finish this one off. So yeah, really, really straightforward matchup, and that Scarlet Witch on buffed up managed to go down in, I believe, about 26 hits. So not too bad considering the health pool was a little bit higher, and also we did have the class disadvantage as well. Like, absolutely slaughtered that lass. Then the next matchup, MODOK. I really like this one just because we had such great use in this matchup of using the unblockable specials, and that's one of the very fun things about unblockable specials is they're just going to penetrate straight through mechanics like auto block. So here you can see we're going for a heavy attack, just keeping the Binary Ignition charges up, and then we're going to go in for a 4 combo. He auto blocks, then we fire off the Special 2, the beams penetrate and then stun, then we go for a heavy attack and straight into a 4 combo there, then use the Special 1 unblockable hold to penetrate and get that man down. So that was a pretty smooth MODOK kill, man. I really like that one. She's super fun for some MODOK matchups and fights if you're playing quite aggressively and tactfully using those unblockable specials to chain on and penetrate through auto block combos. So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. Now here we have one of the most dreaded matchups when it comes to Act 6 Chapter 100%, the buffed up Symbiote Supreme. So this one can be a little bit annoying because it has Pilfer as well. So if you get some bad RNG, man, all of your Furies could potentially disappear at the start, but you need to maintain at least 3 of them. However, we enter Binary Ignition, we keep all of our Furies there so we can go straight into a special 2 and just absolutely slaughter this lad. It was the perfect fight for Captain Marvel. So yeah, that was really awesome, man. We made that dude look like absolute trash. So Captain Marvel, she is an absolute banger for the buffed up Symbiote Supreme, and all of the path really, aside from maybe, you know, she has a bit of trouble in the next matchup that you're about to see, which is the buffed up version of Magic, just because Magic, you know, is a little bit wild at certain points, and I went for a very ballsy tactic here, which just about paid off. And you're going to see what I mean when I say just about paid off. So Magic is obviously a very annoying fight to try and burst down, especially when she has buffed up and also double power gain as well, just because she's going to be proccing Limbo and gaining so much power. So we immediately start with Binary Ignition just because we ended the last fight on a heavy attack there, and I'm trying to take this one maybe a little bit slower and keep the stacks of binary charge up. So we go for another heavy. She has procced Limbo twice already. So my plan right now, man, I'm gonna have to full balls this. So we medium light medium combo, go straight into a special 2 there. My plan is to push her over the power bar thresholds and just keep on nuking this lass and hope that she doesn't rewind. And it worked. It worked out there, you know. It's a little bit jammy, man, a little bit jammy, but it was a plan that was implemented and it was successful, so we'll take it. Now to end this video, I wanted to show probably one of my favorite boss fights of all time, and I know I say this, man, but this is a really cool boss fight. So this is the very first boss of Act 6. It's a no retreat Sabretooth, and he is like a massive pain to deal with. He's really annoying just because he is the oscillate node, so half the time he's going to be very aggressive coming at you as well. So what I decided to do here, because I didn't really know how much reach we would have in this fight, especially with his regeneration and the oscillate phase to slow us down a little bit, I go full balls. My plan is just to absolutely nuke this lad, send as much damage as we possibly can his way. So we got a combo, we got heavy attack going in for another 5 combo there, and then we leave ourselves open. We eat a special 3 right at the end of our invulnerability, so we're going to take no damage at all from the special 3, but as a penalty for taking a special while we have Binary Ignition active and this invulnerability, we do lose half of our charges. So you can see we've gone down from 20 to 9 now. We don't have too many left. I probably should have thrown a heavy attack there, but we're very on the ropes, man. We don't want to leave Binary Ignition or it's pretty much game over in terms of the damage and trying to build it up again. Got a very cheeky heavy attack there. I'm trying not to like dash back too much because I'm very concerned about the degeneration, but it might have been a bit better to dash back. We fire off another special to kind of keep the tempo going here, go for a heavy attack, go for another heavy attack, just trying to desperately keep these charges of Binary Ignition up. We managed to dodge that last part of the special too. We're very on the ropes, man. We don't have many charges of Binary Ignition, and also we don't have much health left at all. He's in the armor phase at the moment. Dash back, managed to avoid the special 1, get a couple of hits in, parry heavy, get some more binary charges, expend those charges on a special 2. We're down to 1 charge here. We go for a couple of heavy attacks just to get some more charges up, then unblockable special 1, and we won the game, lads. So that was it was a jammy kill, but it worked, man. It definitely works. So, you know, I'll take that one. If we can get 1,000 likes on today's video, then I'm going to do a Realm of Legends speedrun with Captain Marvel with full Suicide Masteries. So if you did enjoy it, please do smash that like button. Aside from that, take care, and I hope that you have an absolutely fantastic day.